Hey guys, this is Ninja Guy _12 here. I know this kind of awkward intro for the video, but you know it's been a while since I actually posted an actual commentary. I apologize for that. So yeah, I don't really have any excuses really for like why I haven't been really uploading GB02 stuff. It's just, I guess, not really an excuse. It's just like I haven't really felt like I wanted to upload anything. I just kind of wanted to focus on just enjoying life, I guess. So I guess I took an unnecessary break that, you know, I didn't really say anything about. So for those that did care, if there is any that cared, you know, I'm fine. Nothing really happened. I just wanted to relax and not really worry about shit like making content. Of course, I still have my Battlefront 2 videos scheduled. Those were made a long while ago, so those were just being uploaded. But that was it. So I didn't really have anything else. But I guess the benefit of not really uploading is just the fact that I now have some videos I could upload. One of which, obviously, being this Barzam custom that was just recently added. So that's pretty much what we'll be talking about now for the rest of the video. So the Barzam custom is a 500 point general, level 1, because it's level 2 at 550. So basically the exact same levels as the Gunner Mark II. Of course, this is basically a mix mash of the, I think, Barzam, or like a version of the Barzam that is not actually the original Barzam that we all know and love. But due to the fact that, you know, the torso is different, the back skirt exists, and the head is a little bit different. But otherwise, mostly the same as the original Barzam. But otherwise, yeah, obviously the thing that makes this one different is the fact that it has a lot of Gundam Mark II parts now. It has the Mark II's arms, shield, legs, backpack. So basically, this is really the closest it got, or the Barzam got, to being a Mark II, really, aside from just being an actual Mark II. So this is actually a very fun mole suit. It does have its own custom beam saber. It has a Vulcan pod, which is pretty much on par with the Gunner Mark II's Vulcan pod and the Barzam's. So yeah, it's pretty good. And then of course it has the ability to equip all the Mark II weapons. So if you did want to be a moron and use the shrapnel bazooka with this, which you really shouldn't, due to the fact that this thing doesn't have nearly as high range strength as the original Barzam. But if you didn't want to go with the shrapnel, of course you can do that. You also have the original Mark II's bazooka and the beam rifle for the Mark II. So if you did want to have full ballistic weapons, you could go with either one of those, or you could use this custom beam rifle that it has, which is basically a mix of like the Barzam's charging beam rifle, but it has the kind of style of the Mark II beam rifle with a basically underslung like bazooka attachment from like the hyper bazooka for the Mark II, but just like shrunken down to be like a grenade launcher, which is kind of similar in a way to like how the Sinanju's beam rifle has that grenade launcher. So it's actually pretty cool. I really like this beam rifle. It is stupid good. I love it. It's fantastic. And the grenade launcher actually, although it doesn't have the greatest range, it does have surprisingly good splash damage. I've been able to hit enemies that I normally wouldn't hit with the grenade launcher, so really don't underestimate that grenade launcher. And then as for the melee, it does have 2 hits. It does have a double dodge roll, which also helps to its survivability. But in terms of its melee, pretty much its melee pattern is almost the exact same as the original Mark II, except its downswing is that of the Barzam, which is also a good and bad thing, because obviously with the Barzam downswing, you could be hitting enemies a lot better and more accurate, I'd say, than if you were just to use the original Mark II's downswing, I guess. Otherwise, its stats are also pretty good. It has even stats for both melee and range. So if you, and it does have the same amount of slots for both what is it? Range and melee. So if you, for say, want to build the suit more for melee or range or both, you could very easily do that. It has 11 close range slots and 11 long range slots, 14 medium. So if you guys wanted to go ahead and build your Mark II, or this knockoff Mark II with, you know, a lot more melee or a lot more range, or, you know, just be a master of both, you could do that. It does also have 14 mid-range, so, you know, that's also a plus if you wanted. Otherwise, it's a fairly great suit. I really like it. I think this one is, in particular, is a lot better than the Mark II, simply because, like, with the Mark II, you basically, playing at low, or not really low cost, but, like, playing in a somewhat lower ranked environment, the Mark II is just completely brain dead. If you wanted an actual suit that, you know, does require a little bit more skill to use, that isn't so brainless like the original Mark II, this thing I think is just better. Not only that, it's a 2-star, so it's a lot easier to acquire than the Mark II, which is a 3-star, though the Mark II is in the RT store. So there's that as well. Well, otherwise, that's pretty much it for the Barzam Custom, or the Refined Barzam, as it's called. Design-wise, I love this thing. I really like the Refined Barzam, though I don't think I like it nearly as much as just the straight-up original Barzam, simply because that design was super weird and unique and interesting to look at. Whereas this thing, I mean, it's cool and everything, but obviously it has a lot more Mark II parts, which, I mean, I love the Mark II, I like the Barzam, but I'm not really a fan of putting them both together, in a way, but I still like it a lot. Basically, if I just pretend the Mark II and Barzam didn't exist, then I would pretty much say I like this one a lot, but because the Barzam and Mark II exist, I can't really say I like this one more. So, I don't know, maybe one day I'd consider getting one of those P. Bandai Advanced of Zeta Barzams, because those look like the parts from that will be able to make this. So maybe one day, if I'm good with painting or whatever, get an airbrushing station or whatever, I would consider making this suit, because it does look pretty cool. But then I would just have an awkward mobile suit left over, like Mark II's head and torso, with like the arms and legs of the Barzam and its beam rifle. So I don't know how I would like that, but this still looks pretty cool. So I wish Bandai would make a separate model kit for this design, because I would totally buy it. But otherwise, that's pretty much it for this suit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope to see you guys next time. Take care, everyone.